सम्यक् समाधिनिरतैर्विमलान्तरङ्गे साक्षादवेक्ष्य निजतत्त्वमपारसौख्यम् सन्तुष्यते परमहंसकुलैरजस्रम् यद्ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि केवलबोधमात्रम्।
ॐ नमः परमऋषिभ्यो नमः परमऋषिभ्यः। हरिः ॐ। त्वत्पादाम्बुजमर्चयामि परमं त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम् त्वाम् ईशं शरणं व्रजामि वचसा त्वामेव याचे विभो। वीक्षाम्ये दिशचाक्षुषीं सकरुणां दिव्यैः शिरं प्रार्थितां शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीयमनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु। नित्यानन्दरसालयं सुरमुनिस्वान्ताम्बुजादाश्रयं स्वच्छं सद्विजसेवितं कलुषहृत् सद्वासनाविष्कृतं शम्भुध्यानसरोवरं व्रजमनोहंसावतंसस्थिरं किं क्षुद्राश्रय पल्वलभ्रमणसञ्जातश्रमं प्राप्स्यसि। त्रयीवेद्यं हृद्यं त्रिपुरहरमाद्यं त्रिनयनं जटाभारोदारं चलदुरगहारं मृगधरं महादेवं देवं मयि सदयभावं पशुपतिं चिदालम्बं साम्बं शिवम् अतिविडम्बं हृदि भजे। चन्द्रोद्भासितशेखरे स्मरहरे गंगाधरे शंकरे सर्पैर्भूषितकर्णकण्ठकुहरे नेत्रोत्तवैश्वानरे दन्तित्वकृतसुन्दराम्बरधरे त्रैलोक्यसारे हरे। मोक्षार्थं कुरु चित्तवृत्तिम् अमलाम् अन्यैस्तु किं कर्मभिः। श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थनामगोचरं लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम्। अन्तर्यस्य बहिर्विधूततिमिरं ज्योतिर्मयं शाश्वतं स्थानं प्राप्य विराजते विनमतामज्ञानमुन्मूलयन्। पश्यन् विश्वमपीतमुल्लसति यो विश्वस्य पारे परः। तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधियाम् दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं। கொஞ்சம் சத்தம் அதிகம் பண்ணணும் போல் இருக்கு. So continuing our Chaturmasya Swadhyaya Yajna, we are continuing Sankaracharya's life and teachings. In this, we get a glimpse of so many works that Sankaracharya wrote. Generally, people will, those who have studied a little bit of Vedanta, they will be knowing some of the works. like Mano Buddhya Hankara Chitta Ninaham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. Some others would have heard about Nirvana Dashakam. This is Nirvana Shatkam. Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chitta. Shatkam means 6 verses. And in YouTube, very famous videos are there. They put it Nirvana Shatakam. If you read it as Nirvana Shatakam, it means in 100 verses. They have no knowledge whether it is Shatakam or Shatkam, because only concentration is on singing, music, not the meaning. So they have put it Nirvana Shatakam. Nirvana Shatakam means 100 verses. Nirvana Shatkam, 6 verses. And Nirvana Dashakam or Dashashloki, which is very well known. Na bhumir na toyam na tejo na vayuh na kham nendriyam va na tesham samuha anaikantikatvat sushupteka siddha tadego vashishta shivah kevaloham. That is the verses Sankaracharya wrote in the presence of his own teacher Govinda Bhagavad Pada. Like that, many verses are there which end with Shivoham. So yesterday we saw Nirvana Manjari. Aham naiva martyo, aham na maro naiva martyo na daityaha, na gandharva rakshah pishacha prabhedaha, puman naiva nastri ratanaiva shandaha, prakrishta prakasha swarupa shivoham. Aham naiva balo yuva naiva vriddhaha, navarni nacha brahmachari grihasthaha, vanastopi naham na sanyasta dharma, jaganna jagadjanma nashaika hetuhu shivoham. So this is Nirvana Manjari. Then we saw Yati-pañchakam or Kaupina-pañchakam. Yati-pañchakam is a better name. Yati-pañchakam means 5 verses on Yati. Yati is not the monkey in the Himalayas. Somebody has given it that name. I don't know how it came. Yati means a monk, a sannyasi. Perhaps a monk with a key. So, Yati is not that chimpanzee like some imaginary thing which they think. It is Yati, Yatishvara, Yati Dharma, all means it all refers to sannyasa, sannyasa dharma. So here Yati-pañchakam are 5 verses on a sannyasi, a monk. What should a monk, a sannyasi do? It is a very, very deeper topic. What should a sannyasi do? And sannyasi is pictured here as a kaupinadhari, one who wears only a lion cloth, a small cloth. Only the private part is covered. And it is not sannyasi dress. In Tamil Nadu, especially in Tiruvannamalai, all the local people formerly they were only wearing that. When British officer came here, and one local he was a freedom fighter also. I don't peru theriyuma? Subramaniam, I think. So he was brought here. So he saw all these people working in the field wearing only loin cloth. nothing else. So he felt very bad about it, and he asked Mr. Subramaniam, what is this? Why are they wearing only this much? And that Subramaniam was a very proud freedom fighter. He said, sir, you don't know, this is Indian tie. He said. So he asked, is it Indian tie? What do you mean by that? Sir, we were wearing it for thousands of years. You, out of respect, started wearing it in the neck. So, that is loincloth. Somebody asked Bhagavan, Bhagavan, why you are wearing only a kaupinam, a loincloth? Bhagavan said, what to do, the society needs it. That means he said, I don't need even that. But others, for their sake, I have to wear it. That is all. Otherwise, it is not needed. So, it shows the utter simplicity, no need, no necessity. You need food for the body, you need what else? A place to live. Then for the society only dress also. So people think sannyasi needs ochre, kashaya vastram. That kasha, it is not actually ochre colored cloth. It's actually vivarna vasaha, discolored, very faded dress. That is sannyasi's dress. That cloth which is completely color is not there, all faded color. நீங்க அப்படி வரலாம் அரவிந்த், அப்படி வந்தேன்னா இங்கே இடம் இருக்கு. ஆமாம். So, this Yati-pañchakam is about a sannyasi. His need is very, very less. And sannyasa, one question comes about sannyasa, whether it is to attain realization or is the sign of the realized person. Sankaracharya says sannyasa is the sign of the realized person. Jnanam sannyasa lakshanam. When jnanam, realization, has come, naturally the person gives up all foolish activities. Naturally he goes beyond complexities. So it brings its own simplicity, and that is true sannyasa. That we see in Bhagavan also. You need not think about anything. The constant meditation on the self, when your whole attention is, it's a very special case, unique case, because the person cannot participate with other people in their interests. His attention has completely, it is turned towards God or Atma, self. So his outer needs are very less. The body has to be kept alive. Such a person is pictured as Yati, as Kaupina Matra Dhari. The life is very simple. This is Sankaracharya's time, or very recently also, even in Bhagavan's time, it was like that. Because even you will not get so much cloth also. So whatever you get, you wear. Ratya virachita kantha. Punya punya vivarjita pantha. He just whatever dress he gets from somewhere he gets, he wears that, that's all. So that is the Kaupina Matra Dhari, a sannyasi. And outer simplicity, taking only one meals, wearing simple dress, and not participating with worldly people, it also breeds immense ego. Very great ego. Saying that I am a sannyasi, I am not a worldly person. So, because even renunciation can become a pride. That is why when Paul Brendan asked Bhagavan, should we not renounce all possessions? Bhagavan said, the possessor too. The person who is renouncing, the ego. So the renunciation of ego is it will not be possible simply by outer renunciation. Of course, outer renunciation follows that, because the ego is sitting in a chair, in a chappal, in bank deposit, in wife, in children, in name, fame, everywhere it is sitting. So if you renounce that, along with that ego also dies. But it goes and sits in the deeper ideals, that I have renounced everything. So, ena tyajasi tatyaja. Sankaracharya says, tyaja dharmam adharmam cha ubhe satyanrite tyaja, ubhe satyanrite tyaktva ena tyajasi tatyaja. By which you give up everything, give it up. So the ultimate, complete renunciation. So all that happens when jnanam comes. When you inquire, the ego will not go without inquiry. That is Bhagavan's siddhanta. Without inquiry, you cannot remove the ego. Without inquiring what it is, what the I is, searching for the I, understanding, because the serpent seen in the rope cannot be killed, cannot be separated by mantra, driven out by mantra. Even by surrendering to the rope also, the snake will not go. You say, surrender, the ego will go. You surrender to the rope. Sharanagatoham Rajjudeva Namastubhyam. Sharanagata Vatsala, snake will not go. So you have to bring in light and see what it is. Then you see there is no ego. There is no I. The I is unreal. So jnanam alone can remove that. Ajnanam. Ajnanena avridam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Jnanena tu tad ajnanam yesham nashitam atmanaha tesham adityavajnanam prakashayati tatparam. By jnanam, ajnanam is removed. So jnanam is the sign of a sannyasi. Bhagavan said in Ramana Gita about sannyasa ashrama, Bhagavan said sannyaso nirmalam jnanam. Pure jnanam is sannyasa. Sannyaso nirmalam jnanam. Kashayo nachamundanam. Neither tonsuring the head, nor kashaya vastra, nor outer giving up, nor sadhana also. Sometimes, people used to ask, is there anything that Bhagavan did not accept? Don't mistake me. I am telling it in a special tone. Somebody asked, is there anything that Bhagavan did not accept? Bhagavan did not accept sadhana. Bhagavan once said, sadhanaye ur vedane aidopa. In the name of sadhana, the person is building a personality. then it becomes a problem. How many problems? So, the sadhaka has to see who he is. When you use a rubber to erase, what happens? Whatever is written is erased. Not only that, the rubber is also erased. So the sadhana is not for erasing anything, it is to erase the sadhaka. The sadhana also goes, sadhya, that one thing alone remains. The non-dual essence, the substratum. So that jnanam is the sign of a monk, a sannyasi. One thing. And then what is the sign of jnanam? The sign of jnanam is sarvatma bhava. Sarvatmatva mahavibhuti. As Sankaracharya puts it, sarvatma bhava. Seeing the same self in everyone, seeing God in everyone, not seeing any speciality in one's own self, seeing the same self, that is very, very difficult. Because through many births, this separate identity has taken firm roots. This Bheda Buddhi. So removing that is the sign of jnanam. So ajnana has to slowly, it should be erased. For that, the true jnanam must be contemplated. So, sign of sannyasa is jnanam. So, now a question comes. Mostly sannyasa is taken by sadhakas. Those who take the jnanam as a lakshyam and sannyasa as a path. Mostly. Very rarely Vidvat sannyasa is there. So mostly Vividisha sannyasa. Sannyasa with vairagya. It is vairagya sannyasa. Dispassion. Through dispassion the person takes sannyasa. That is also great. So that is not included. So Vidyaranya Swami has discussed about it elaborately in Jivan Mukti Viveka. So where he says Vividisha sannyasa is also very great. There also it is important. The person, after taking, renouncing, he concentrates completely on sadhana. Now I said no sadhana. Now I am telling sadhana. So sadhana means what? Shravana, manana, nididhyasana, right kind of knowledge. All other things are auxiliaries, supplementaries. Japa, dhyana, pranayama, yoga, puja, anything you can do. Whatever helps you to prepare the body, mind so that it will be receptive. But all those things you should be very careful. Buddha gave an example that if you, one veena player, he came to Buddha and he asked about yoga. So Buddha said, what will happen if you tighten the string too much? The string will break. What will happen if you leave it loose? You cannot play the music. So the right tuning is needed. Like that you can do all other sadhanas. In whatever way the body mind can be kept in tune, in sattvika sthiti, sattva sthiti. So that is very important. After that, the most important thing is jnanam. Shravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam. Listening, contemplation and incessant meditation. Sannyasa as a vividisha sannyasa. Sannyasa for knowing. That is taken so that the person is not disturbed by the society. Otherwise, people will come. My daughter's marriage, please come. Or some other housewarming, please come. There was one Swami in our place. People will come. He was very old. So they will come and you should come and bless my daughter. He said, no. I am blessing from here. I have my own anushtanas. I cannot come. He will say, no. We will send car. You should come, Swami, and bless us. See, if the Swami starts going every Kalyanam, then Kalyanananda Saraswati will become our problem. So, they will come and invite him. So you know what he will say? He will say, my Ishtadevata or my Guru or that Shakti has given me an order that I should live like this. These things, this japa, dhyana, everything I should do. And I should not involve myself in anything else. So if I come to the marriage, it will not be good for you. Then they will say, no, namaskaram, bless for him here. It is enough. We need only your blessing. Don't come. So that was his method. So this is this Vividisha Sannyasa. It's a practitioner monk. Eno peru undadu. Practitioner or probation period, something like that. But the true sannyasa is realization, jnanam, where the person is not doing a sadhana, he is a siddha purusha. So it is just a sign of his, even if Bhagavan used to say, even if he is a householder, he is a king, wherever he is a sannyasi because he is detached. By the knowledge of the self, the detachment comes, not the practiced detachment. It is not the detachment of the mind or intellect. It is the detachment which is the very nature of the self. Asango hi ayam purushaha. The very self, the very nature of the self is incorruptibility, which cannot be touched by anything. This yoga is called Asparsha Yoga. Gaudapadacharya says, Asparsha Yogo Vainama Sarvasattva Sukavaha. It gives great happiness. You need not disturb your life at all. You just know the self with the power of that knowledge. A very profound detachment sets in. Wherever the person is, he remains like the lotus leaf. Water will not touch it. Like that. Yata pushkara palashaha apona shlishyate. Evam vidhi Papam karma nashlishyate. It's the Upanishad mantra. This mantra Bhagavan quotes in Gita, Padmapatram ivambhasa. It says like Padmapatram, like the lotus leaf, untouched by the wetness of the water. Like that, the person lives in the world untouched by worldly activities or thoughts or emotions. So this knowledge very rarely manifests in people who are engaged in world also. Generally, the very nature of that knowledge is the person becomes pure gold. Pure gold means what? You cannot make any ornament out of it. You have to mix something so that you can make ornament. So the person becomes separated. He becomes free, like Bhagavan's case you see. So, Vedanta Vakyeshu Sadaramantaha Bhikshanna Matrena cha Tushtimantaha. Just takes his hand, is Bhikshapatro. Bhagavan's case was that. First, he was not taking Bhiksha. In Gurumurtam, it is about 5 kilometers from Tiruvannamalai. It's a Samadhi place of Ishanya Madam. So there Bhagavan was kept aloof. So there he used to sit absorbed in Samadhi. Then it's all various stages, Jnanam has no stage, but the absorption, slowly Bhagavan found that the body has become so stiff, not able to move. So then he started walking in the streets of Tiruvannamalai and taking Bhiksha. And he used to go and stand before some house silently. Generally, these bhikshus, they will go and stand there and say, in north they will say Narayana Hari. Tiruvannamalai they will say Shiva Puranam. That is what usually in Tiruvannamalai you want to get bhiksha. In those days you have to chant Shiva Puranam. Namah Shivaya Valga Nathan Tal Valga Imai Purudum Yenanjal Ningadan Tal Valga. Chanting this, they will go for bhiksha. Then those who do not know Tamil, they should also eat. So they will have Samba Sada Shiva. Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Adbhuta Vigraha Amaradishwara Aganita Gunagana Amita Shivahara. Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Like that it will come. In the same meter, Bhagavan wrote Aksharamanamala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala mena agameni nepavara hatte. For what? For taking bhiksha. So Aksharamanamala is for, that is why every day we chant Aksharamanamala for me to take bhiksha. It is not that you have to know this bhiksha every day. I am sitting here and talking to you, so I should not forget that I am a beggar. So you are reminding me. That is the thing. That is all. So it is a constant reminder that don't forget. You are Brahman, but don't forget you are also a beggar. So Bhagavan was a beggar, Arunachaleshwara was a beggar. So this Bhikshanna matrena cha tushtimanta. Bhagavan used to praise a lot this Bhikshavrti. The food is very pure. Whatever you get through Bhiksha, you take. So Bhikshamatrena cha tushtivantaha. Vishokavantaha. No shoka. See, the whole Vedanta philosophy, for what? It is to remove grief, remove suffering, remove misery in all forms. So Vishokavantaha, by jnana, the shoka is removed. By jnana, suffering is removed. No grief. Tarati shokamatmavit. One who knows the Atman, he crosses shoka. Karunaikavantaha. Lot of compassion, abundant compassion. No hatred towards anybody, friendly towards all, compassionate. No hatred means just samastiti. Friendly, a little more movement. Karuna is dynamic love. Dynamic compassion. So that is it. Karunaikavantaha kaupinavanta khalu bhagyavantaha. Such a kaupinadhari is really blessed. So this is the Yati-pañchakam, the sign of a monk, the sign of a sannyasi. And all other verses we saw yesterday. So this is Sankaracharya's one of the well-known verse. From there, where are they staying now? Gaya. In Gaya, there is Phalguni river. Phalguni river is like, you have to believe that there is a river there. The story is that Sita gave a curse that Phalguni will not have water. That is the story that they say. Because when Ravana was taking her, that something, river did not help, whatever it might be. So this Phalguni, now there was heavy rain, somebody told Phalguni is in spate. So once in a while water comes there. This Palar is also that, no water. Once a person said there is neck deep water in Palar. And people all rushed there to see. And he said, it's not much water, a little bit. He said, you have to do Shirshasana. So this Phalguni river bank, there were so many sects, Kapila worshippers, Dattatreya. Kapila is Sankhya philosophy, and Dattatreya. There are many jnana streams in this Bharatavarsha. Many streams of jnana. Generally what we say is Sankaracharya's parampara. But the same Advaita parampara, so many paramparas are there. One of the well-known parampara is Dattatreya parampara. In Bhagavata itself there is Dattatreya parampara. Avadhuta parampara. Avadhuta parampara doesn't mean that there is some special dress or anything. It means Jnanam is Dattatreya parampara. In Maharashtra, most of the saints, they came in Dattatreya parampara. Eknath Maharaj, even Nisargadatta Maharaj, he also came in the Dattatreya parampara, Natha parampara. You have Gorakshanatha, Gahaninatha, all that. Jnaneshwara also came in that parampara. But Jnaneshwara had a touch of Kashmir Shaiva also. So, this Dattatreya parampara. Staying there, Acharya interacted with the Buddhists, Kapilas and Vaidikas and taught them Atmavidyā. And from there, their next journey was through Virata. It is a country. Moving through places such as Gogriha, they reached the city Tamralipta on the banks of river Rupanarayana. You have to just see the scenes. It's Sankaracharya moving about the river Rupanarayana. Here they saw many Buddhist monasteries. Through Acharya's Upadesha, the high ideals of Vedic Dharma regained prevalence here. Many people who had accepted Tantric and other traditions returned to Vedic culture. From Tamralipta, Acharya crossed river Bhagirathi and moved towards the plain ruled by King Adishura. Here too Buddhism and Jainism were predominant, and again measures were taken to strengthen Sanatana Dharma. The spiritual brilliance of Acharya strongly attracted King Adishura Varma. As per Acharya's Upadesha, he brought Vedic scholars from Kanyakubja and commenced extensive propagation of the Vedas. From the plains, Acharya journeyed to the land of Dabak. Here the Buddhists and the Jains were very strong. Earlier, Shilabhadra and other Buddhist acharyas had propagated Buddhism. Now under Acharya's influence, the path of Upasana and Jnana were reinstated. In several places, Acharya installed favorite deities of the local people and prescribed appropriate ritualistic worship. Thus, Vishwanatha Lingam was installed at a place on the banks of river Brahmaputra. We have to go to those places and to see all these areas. Among the rivers of India, Brahmaputra is very unique. Fierce by nature, it manifests its fury off and on. Some rather terrible rituals were practiced along its banks. See, these rivers all have their own life, their own individuality, their own prakriti also. This Narmada is a yoga prakriti. So many yogis, so many rishis. And Ganga is all jnana prakriti. Yamuna is bhakti prakriti. This Brahmaputra is Shakta Prakriti. It's all Shakta rituals, much happens there. So, starting from Dabak and moving along the banks of river Brahmaputra, Acharya entered Pragjyotisha. It's today's Guwahati, Assam. This Pragjyotisha is the place of whom? No? Narakasura. It is the place of Narakasura. It is believed that in ancient times this was the land of Narakasura. Tantra sadhana was still predominant here and many were adept in this field. There were many scholars. So, one of our devotees Kashi was working somewhere in Kamakya. So once he came back and said, Swami, there are still people, some tribals, who are eating human flesh. I don't know whether he heard it from somewhere. Then I told him, don't stay there, they would have already kept a cooker to your size. Come back. So there were many scholars of Tantra Shastra also. In fact, Kamakya Nagar or Kamarupa was considered to be the Gurusthana in Tantra Shastra. Buddhist influence too had been very strong here in the past. Later, Bhaskaravarma, a powerful king, brought Vedic Brahmins, offered them land and cattle, helped them settle down here, and promoted the Vedic religion through them. Even Harshavardhana, the great powerful king of Kanyakupcha, was a great scholar, great Vedanti also. Huyen Tsang, he says, when he saw this Ashwamedha Yaga, the last historical Ashwamedha Yaga performed by a king, performed by Harsha. So, it is said that he has written in his records that I saw a unbelievable thing, that a king and queen, after performing a yajna, distributed everything, including a small golden chain that she was wearing in her neck, and were standing there with only single cloth after giving up everything. So that was Harsha. So he was a great Advaiti also. So he says in very well known work, he says Khandana Khandya Khadya. So one of his works, it is said that he says about himself that he remains in Brahmanishta, and as that Brahmananda constantly experiencing, also something like a Janaka he was. So this Harshavardhana, see, such kings were there in this land, who were all, although ruling monarchs, they were all enlightened beings. So Harshavardhana, the great and powerful king of Kanyakupja, could not defeat him. So, considering him an ally, Harshavardhana established cordial relations with him. Bhaskaravarma had participated in the Ashwamedha Yajna conducted by Harshavardhana at Prayag, taking a great number of horses and elephants along with him. Many provinces within Pragjyotisha had been paying taxes to Bhaskaravarma. So these are all historical records. The king welcomed Acharya in the traditional manner and held an assembly in Acharya's presence. The topics of discussion were karma, upasana, jnana and dharma shastra. Issues like the significance of karma kanda, eligibility for Brahma Jijnasa, before Dharma Jijnasa, the right to study Vedanta for those who have not studied the Vedas, and methods of upasana, meditation, came for discussion. So, these are all things. Acharya in his Brahma Sutra Bhashya says, the study of the Vedas is not an obligatory prerequisite for Vedanta Shravana. Those who are endowed with sadhana chatushtaya, that is important. Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi Shatka Sampati is very important. Mumukshutva. So, the person should have sufficient purity of the mind, pure discrimination, longing for the knowledge of the self. Jijnasa, that is very important. When that has arisen in a heart, he is qualified for the attainment of jnanam. So that is Vedanta Shastra. It is not possible for anyone to remain inactive even for a moment, generally. No one attains perfection by non-performance of action either. It is Gita. So, even if we sit like this, somebody asked Bhagavan, Bhagavan, you say Chumma iru. So, may I sit still like a rock. So, by that can I remove my vasanas? Bhagavan said, sitting like a rock is also a vasana. So, you think by simply sitting like a rock you can be free? That is also a strong vasana. So, that is not the way. You should inquire. Vichara is needed. Atma Vichara is needed. The knower of truth is one who does not get deluded by superimposing the karma of the adjuncts on the self. That is the beauty. In Bhashya, where Sankaracharya says, somebody who is sitting still and thinks, now I have become one with the truth. When he wakes up, oh, my Brahmanishta is gone. He is a petty knower. He is an ignorant person. The true knowledge is sarvada, always abides as Brahman. Incessantly he knows, I am the truth, I am the self. That knowledge is not in the intellect or the mind, it is in the very nature of the self. So that recognition, it puts the Brahmanishta incessantly in samadhi. His very knowledge is samadhi. So samadhi is not the yogic samadhi. Atmajnana is samadhi. Tattvatma bodha evaiha sarvasha trinapavakaha prokta samadhi shabdena natu tushnima vasthitihi. That is called samadhi. Tattvatma bodha eva. Atma bodha is samadhi. Recognition of the self is samadhi. The very nature of the self is samadhi. Samadhi. The dhi, the intellect, is never disturbed. It is always in samasthiti. So there is great harmony in his jnanam. So that is samadhi. He sees non-action in action. This is the secret of action. A jnani is one who sees absolutely no action, neither religious nor worldly, in the self. Otherwise, if you say the person should be free of all karma, just sitting quiet, you are superimposing the body on the self. When the body is doing, you think I am doing. When the body is not doing, you think I am not doing. Then the body's action is superimposed on the self. So true knowledge is whether the body is active or non-active. The person knows that he is incessantly, uninterruptedly actionless. Akarma darshanam, akarma atma darshanam. That is Bhagavan's teaching. That is why Bhagavan never said give up your work, sit somewhere quietly. He never said. Somebody said Bhagavan, many people who are jnanis, they are also working in the world. How can they be jnanis? Then Bhagavan said, who told you that a jnani should not work? If working is the sign of ignorance, then Ishvara will be a jnani. That is Bhagavan's words. Ishvara will be ajnani. Srishti, sthiti, samhara. So, kshanardhamapi natishtet vrittim brahmamayim vina. Yathatishthandi brahmadhyaha sanakadhyaha shukadayaha. Nimeshardhamapi nimeshardham natishtanti. Not even for a second they stay without that awareness of the self. Who? Brahmadhya, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Janaka, all those people, although they had their activity, some have the activity, some they didn't have. That is their prarabdha. The prarabdha of the body. Bhagavan in one place says, if you are not destined to be active, even if you hunt for action, you will not get. Even if you pursue for action, you will not get. If you are destined to be active, even if you try to sit still, that is why there is seeds of action inside you. You try to be still, that itself will become a karma, a bondage. So don't confuse. Know the self and let the body have its prarabdha, whatever may be. Don't superimpose it on the self. This is the true knowledge. This is liberation. Aham brahmasmi ityeva sarvada anubhavaha vidushaha. This is Sankaracharya's statement. This I am that Brahman. This is the constant experience of a Vidwan. Know the truth and become free. Tarati shokam atmavid. One who knows the self transcends sorrow. Everything other than self-knowledge is a matter of individual destiny. Any remark about the non-self could lead one to verba. See, that is where the lifestyle changes. Bhagavan's lifestyle is different, some other Mahatma's lifestyle is different. When G.V. Subramaya had lot of problems in his life, family problems. His wife died, his child died, so many problems. So one day, every week he will write letters to Bhagavan. One day he came to Ramanacharanatirtha. Whenever he used to come, ashram will be full of discussions. Otherwise nobody will generally dare to discuss things with Bhagavan. So he was discussing Bhagavan, so much sorrow, so much suffering. Bhagavan said, why don't you live like me? He said, Bhagavan, how can I live like you? He said, why not? Do you think I didn't have any problem? And Bhagavan started narrating all the problems that he went through when he was in the hill. Actually, that is why Bhagavan allowed this ashram to happen, because he found that that is better. Not that that is good, that is better. Because he was in the open area, anybody can own him. Anybody can give him trouble. That was the problem. Somewhere in Virupaksha Guha he was sitting quietly in Samadhi. When he opened, he found that an ashram was there around. Because one person called Balananda was sitting there, and whoever comes to see Bhagavan, he will tell, this Swami is my disciple, so give him dakshina. Bhagavan found he is making money by somebody who is sitting quiet. So Bhagavan left the place, and he spat on Bhagavan's face. Later on, somebody came to know this and they asked Bhagavan, our Thupinarame, enna panne thodachane. Bhagavan, he spat on your face. What did you do? Bhagavan said, I just washed, cleaned it. Evlavavo tuppina odambu thane. Then he got beaten by somebody and then left the place. That is a different story. Like that, many things happened in the hill. Many things Bhagavan had not told. So he tried to go away from Tiruvannamalai. Don't think that Bhagavan had any attachment that he should stay only here. He tried to go. It was perhaps attachment of Arunachala. So he went away from Skandashramam, decided to go. On the way, this Vasudeva Shastri, one devotee was there, he caught hold of Bhagavan. He said, he smelt that Bhagavan is leaving. So he was conscious. Then he said, oh, okay, he will, after some time he will go for lunch, then I can go. At that time, this Ishanyamada Swami, Nachiyappa Swami, he found Bhagavan. Swami enga ashramathu vaangu. He decided to take Bhagavan to Ishanyamada. Then Bhagavan said, already lot of problems are there in that ashram. So it will be, I am landing up inside the problem. Better not to go. So it is better I will go to Skandashram. So ultimately Bhagavan finishes the story. He says, see, I tried to avoid that small Skandashram. The result is this big Ramanacharana. So this is all things are happening according to Prarabdha. Prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu ityesha manisha mama. That Yati-pañchakam, the last verse Sankaracharya says, after attainment of jnanam, what does the jnani do? He just hands over his body to the force of Prarabdha. You look after. Unconcerned. Prarabdha is like an attendant. Look after. Prarabdam pushyati vapuriti nishitya nishalaha dhairyamalambe yatnena swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Viveka Chudamani. Bhagavad Pada says, Prarabdha will look after the body. Thus take understanding, with firm knowledge, with great courage, abide in the self. Don't be concerned what will happen. Anything can happen. In the plane of body or mind, around you. So this Bhagavan said, so never try to avoid Prarabdha. Anything can happen, even in the Sharira, body of Jnani. So, Anyavacho vimunchata, all other thinking you leave and meditate on the self. This is the Upadesha. Just allowing the mind to get distracted, think about other worldly things, which is all in the current of destiny. The current of destiny is taking care of things. There is a force called destiny. There is a force called free will. There is a force called the unpredictable. These are all forces in nature. Unpredictable, current of unpredictability is there, which is called Daivam. Current of destiny is there, which is called Vidhi. Current of free will is there. We think we are free to have free will. No. Sometimes because of destiny you have free will. Sometimes you don't have free will. So all these forces are activated. This moment, that moment, something or the other works. So these are all not, you don't get bothered about these forces. Abide in the center, in the self. Anyavacho vimunjata. Don't get into this river of confusion. This world around you is Confusha Ganga. You will get into confusion. Don't get into it. The circuit is full of confusion. In the center, there is perfect understanding, peace, strength. So, the Acharya's profound and soothing words on Brahmavidyā flowed more forcefully than the furious Brahmaputra. The king of Kamarupa was Sri Harsha, who belonged to the lineage of Shalastambha. Knowing about Acharya's arrival, he welcomed Acharya in an impressive manner and took him to the hill where the famous temple of Kamakhya Devi was situated. After taking a holy dip in Brahmaputra, they worshipped the deity. This is a Shakti Pita. It is also said to be the place of Yoni, the origin of creation. The strange and inscrutable majesty of the place had an eerie vibration and was awe-inspiring. It was a place of tremendous Puranic significance, replete with stories of terrible Shakta traditions also. Even human sacrifices used to be held fearlessly in the interior villages. The Shakta culture of that land was so strong that there was no scope of reforming them through conversation or argument, as was done earlier in Sri Shailam or any other place. The worshippers of that place were not willing to converse with Acharya or accept Smartha Dharma. As in other places, the masses came to meet Acharya and were benefited. One day, a Shakta leader came and argued fiercely with Acharya. But he had to retreat quickly as his argument did not have any support of the Upanishads. However, after going back to his place, he hatched a diabolic plan to harm the godly saint. He started visiting Acharya daily, masquerading as a devotee, and commenced his sinister sorcery against Acharya. See, such things can happen even with Jivan Muktas, liberated people. As a result, before long, Acharya's body was afflicted by Bhagantara, this fistula or what can say, like that. Yet he remained serene and peaceful. But the disciples became anxious as Acharya's health deteriorated very fast. The situation continued to aggravate. Acharya did not accept any medicine or treatment at first, but later on yielded to the persuasion of the disciples. As Sudanva was not with them, they found it very difficult to bring professional physicians to treat the sage. Besides, some strange forces kept creating hurdles. The local physicians backed out under some pretext or the other. Finally, they managed to get the help of the royal physicians of King Harsha. But the treatment did not produce any positive effect. Not only that, the physicians also developed certain symptoms of the illness. What to do? So, Acharya remarked with a smile, Padmapada, these healers are all poor householders. We must not put them into the misery of our destiny. The illness is the destiny of this body, let it be. What of that for us, who are in essence bodiless? Jnanamritena triptasya kritakritasya yoginaha, kritakrityasya yoginaha. One who is a kritakritya, nothing to do, nothing to achieve, nothing to attain. He has no kartavya, nothing to do, nothing to achieve, nothing to attain. Asti jayan nasatatvavit. If he thinks he has something to do, he is not a tattvavit. So, jnana amritam samarasam gaganopamoham. I am the nectar of jnana, I am the deathless one. Bhagwan also said like that. When the sarcoma was eating up his body, Bhagwan said, leave it. It will come, it will go. But nobody listened to Bhagwan. We wanted to help Bhagwan, we wanted to give some help, but nothing worked. And every treatment was adding to the problem. More and more and more. So, like that here also, in Acharya's case also, Acharya said, Anamayoham, I have no amaya. Amaya means disease. Nothing can touch. Though Acharya consoled thus, Padmapada was extremely upset. Acharya was nearing the completion of 31 years. And it seemed as if he had decided to give up the body. Padmapada, for whom his guru was his very life breath, intuitively felt something amiss. That yogi, who himself was a siddha, fasted a whole day immersed in a peculiar method of concentration on the events. Tat sankalpa sanyama. In order to find the cause for Acharya's strange illness, all the events that happened, In the past, everything he with great attention observed. Even of the recent past appeared one after the other in his mind. Slowly the face of that tantric person who came there, it appeared in his face. Padmapada heard an inner voice say that Acharya was not going through the effect of karma, but it was the effect of the evil practices of this person, and that the evidence of this could be seen around the very place where Acharya lived. Padmapada got these facts confirmed through his disciples. He informed Acharya about this and conveyed his intention to retaliate. Acharya tried to prevent this and said, if someone gets his desires fulfilled with this transient body, let it be so. The joys and sorrows that occur from time to time in life must be endured happily as they gradually release us from prarabdha. Retaliation is terrible. It does not become you. We do not agree to it. But Padmapada persisted. Lord, please do not prevent me. We wish to protect your body. Although the body is of no use to you, it is invaluable for us and this world. I have decided to retaliate. In spite of Acharya's objection, Padmapada remained stubborn. He held on to the view Shate Shatyam Samacharet. One must use might against the wicked. Padmapada said, it is unbearable for me to see your body fall as a consequence of someone's evil practice. I will not grieve if you discard your body by your yogic power out of your own volition. But it is not right for such an event to occur as the result of the evil intentions of a wicked person. You must not stop me. Even if I have to go through hell as a result of this karma, I will gladly accept it. If you wish for it, I know you can be cured of illness this very moment. But as you will not do that, I myself have to act. This action will not bring any harm to my jnana. Please do not stop me. I feel that it is for this purpose alone that I had studied such shastras in my Purvashrama. Padmapada, who had remained calm when his own health was affected by such evil practices, was not ready to remain quiet when it came to his Guru's health. He prostrated to Acharya and left. Sitting in solitude, Padmapada detected the evil force through his yogic powers. Binding the evil force of that person through the power of mantra, Padmapada commanded it to exit immediately. The force implicitly obeyed and with vengeance returned to the sender. On seeing the evil returning towards him, that Tantrika attempted to save himself using Digbandhana and other such methods, but it was not possible for him to counter the divine strength of Padmapada. Within 3 days, Acharya's health was restored. The other person, feeling an acute burning sensation all over his body, left the place secretly. These incidents came to light very soon. The story and the news that Acharya was recovered spread everywhere. The refined brahmacharis and ascetics were horrified to see the dark side of the human mind. There is no limit to envy. Should one retaliate against the effects of such negative forces or remain indifferent like Acharya? Who knows? Whatever is to happen will happen. That is all. Such discussions went on among the disciples. However, such terrible emotions became the cause for much sorrow and even greater dispassion among the ascetics. They wished to reside hereafter only in austere locations. This is what happens. Very dispassionate monks and sadhakas, when they involve with the world and see the nature of the world, after some time they will with added force come back. They will find this is not a place for us. Yuyam vayam. One devotee said, you are you, we are we. Arthakama parayuyam narayana paravayam. You are after money, you are after name and fame, we are after Bhagavan. You are you, we are we. So this is it. So Acharyas too discussed this with them. So all the monks, it had an effect. They decided to stay in some mud somewhere alone. Enough is being done to the world. So everybody had a dispassion, vairagya. So Badri, Dwaraka, Puri, Sringagiri, Kanchi, Rameshwaram, Sri Shailam, Kashi and Haridwar, all these places were suggested as suitable places for living a life of austerity. See how many mutts Sankaracharya has established. 4 mutts or 5 mutts or many mutts claim that this is also Sankaracharya established. We do not know. And there is no record in Shankara Bhashyam or anywhere Sankaracharya saying this alone, this alone. All Mathamnaya, everything came later on. So, one thing we can say, whoever follows Sankaracharya's teaching, whoever is Jnana Nishtha, who is following the Bhashya, Prakarana Granthas, Bhagavad Pada, that bhakti has come in that parampara. So, giving respect to all those acharyas. Now we will stop here. We will continue tomorrow.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva,
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.